Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the September 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Taurus. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot card. But I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But Taurus, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take just a general look at what's coming for you in September. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're going to do 3 yes or no questions as well, a crystal of the month for you, and our usual healing note to end. But again, going to our column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month, we have the card potential. And this card is pretty straightforward. This is all about reaching your potential. So I think you did a good job of that this last few weeks or month, Taurus. Like, I feel like you really gave it your all. You were able to use your energy to focus, to accomplish things. So it's really wonderful to see. But let's see what clarifying messages come through under this. Okay, the first card that we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. This is very much so a renewal of energy too. So I like to see this. You were renewed with energy and you used your energy really wisely with that potential card, and giving everything your all, reaching your potential, Taurus. So that really was a nice pairing. This is also a card of being in the spotlight. So some of you could have been recognized. That's what this big star is at the top here. So again, a card of renewal, inner clarity, but definitely a card of recognition as well. The next card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very resourceful card. This is all about being resourceful with the resources you have. So time, money, energy, which again, it sounds like you definitely did that, Taurus. There was a renewal of energy and you capitalized on it right away. The Queen of Pentacles is also a card of fertility and pregnancy. So there could have been some fertility news for some of you. This is also a domestic card, so potentially a new relationship or an advancement of a relationship like engagement or marriage. Moving on, our next card here at the bottom is the Devil card. The Devil card is a card of addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession. Oftentimes I tell people this can be a card of overthinking something as well. So you could have been giving a lot of energy to your thoughts as well as moving things forward. Excuse me. With the Devil card, this can also be a card of I don't know that greedy energy is coming through, but it's like that envious energy. You might have had a friend that graduated from college and that made you want to graduate from college, or a friend that got a new car and that makes you want to go get a new car. The nice thing is though, it's like you're being resourceful. So although you have these thoughts of oh, my friend did this, I need to go do this, it seems like the resourcefulness kind of trumped any of these urges that we may have had with the Devil card. Well, let's clarify this row and see what other messages we've got here. The first clarifier we have is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is a speedy card. It's speed, action, quick change. It could be news coming in too. So the nice thing about this renewal of energy and this renewal of hope, it could have felt like it came out of the blue, Taurus. It just came and swept you off your feet in the best possible way, which I love to see. So it was prompt getting this energy back. It's not always that easy, so that's great. The other part of this, so the 8 of Wands can be news coming out. So there very well could have been news coming out about your recognition, so that's really exciting. You could have been surprised with recognition, not knowing it was coming or not anticipating that it was coming. So that was kind of a surprise recognition for some of you. The next card that we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of respect, a card of leadership, a card of strategic planning. And in order to be strategic, in order to be successful long term, which is what the Emperor is all about, we need to be being resourceful. And again, being resourceful can be time, money, energy, you name it, really any of your resources. So this resourcefulness that you've had these last few weeks or month is really beneficial long term. This is saying you're setting yourself up well for the future, Taurus. So like to see that as well. It could be an indicator of a long-lasting relationship as well. Remember, we were saying some of you are coming into that domestic side where it's new relationship or advancement of relationship. The Emperor is also a card of paternal. This is like good parenting. So another indicator of some fertility for some of you these last few weeks. Then at the bottom here, we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, anytime we have an ace card, is a card of newness. The Ace of Swords specifically is new idea, new mental clarity. I feel like you had to stop yourself, and that was learning. It was getting clarity. Like I said, maybe you set a budget for yourself and then this brand new pair of shoes came out that you wanted, but you were like, no, I just started this budget and I can't go spend this. So again, the devil, the thought here, the thoughts of spending money or keeping up with the Johnsons or whatever it may have been, you were able to curb some of those thoughts and stay focused on being resourceful. So all around really neat to see. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is just in general what's coming for September. We have the card connection. This is about being connected to yourself, but also being connected to those around you. And this is about giving people the opportunity to connect. Like, go into that deep conversation, ask those personal questions. This is about the ability to be open for connection as well. So seek these connections going into the month of September, Taurus. Again, connection is going to be important, but let's see what kind of messages we have here. It's interesting, I just told you to be open, and every single card we have here is an isolation card. But let's talk through this and see what we're getting at here. The first card we have is the Hermit card. This is a card of going within for clarity. This is about figuring out what feels good to you, Taurus. If you take a look at this lantern, there's a light within the lantern, and that light is the light that's within you. So this is about making sure you're fulfilling your life goals, that you're feeling fulfilled, that you're on your own spiritual, personal illumination, you're on your journey, you're following your path, Taurus. So this is always, anytime we see this card, a good indicator to check in with yourself, find that clarity within, that we're doing things that feel good to us. Maybe this is all about being connected to yourself, truly, but we'll see what other messages we've got. The next card we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of being very stagnant. You look at this person and they're quite literally hanging there by their foot. They're stuck, they're waiting for more information. But the message being here with the Hermit is that this information comes from within you. You can wait for somebody else to tell you something, Taurus, but it's not really going to matter. It's going to matter what you come up with for yourself. And then at the bottom here we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. Also, again, that card of isolation. I really do think this is more about connecting with yourself and figuring out what's right. But if you look at this person, their eyes are blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but there's all these swords stuck into the ground, and they could very easily wiggle back and cut themselves free, Taurus. So keep that in mind. Again, I feel like you're waiting for information. You're trying to find something out, but the information is within you. So don't lose sight of that going into this month. The first clarifier we have here is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of giving or receiving help. It's a very generous card. But again, this is about you doing for you, Taurus. This is about you figuring out what you need, you figuring out what you want, you figuring out the next step. So this is you helping you with the Six of Pentacles. The next card that we have is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is very much so a love card. This is very romantic love. It's a card of partnership, marriage, proposal. And I think this is an important call out. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you can't be self-sufficient. Sometimes we need that reminder. That seems to be the message that's coming through. It seems odd, but I'm going to share what I'm getting, and that happens to be the message. I think you could be like nudging your partner trying to find information, Taurus, but again, this is something that needs to come from you. This is something you need to figure out for yourself. At the bottom here, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a really great money card, but one of the meanings of the Nine of Pentacles is self-sufficiency and solo pleasures. So again, this is you doing for you this month, Taurus. Super interesting message. I'm sure this means something to all of you more than I can explain, but figure out what works for you this month. But let's take a look at our next column, Taurus, which is anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, whatever you associate with money. The first card that we have is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card of desire for long-term security. Oftentimes when I see this, this is like there's something you desire that you don't quite have right now. So Taurus, this is more money. This is a different investment opportunity. This is something with your career that again you don't currently have at this exact moment. We're going to take a deeper dive into that with a clarifying card, but again, this is your desire of wanting something that you don't currently have. The next card that we have is the King of Wands. This is a card of being very bold, being very powerful. It's also a very charming card. I always call this like the woo card. You have the ability to convince others of your beliefs or your understanding or your perspective. This is a card of leadership, so some of you could already be in a leader role, but I could see some of you moving into a leader role, or perhaps even your desire is to take on a leadership role. Again, we'll of course clarify. And then at the bottom here, we have the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. The Ace of Swords is again new clarity. Not surprised to see this. It's like you've figured out what you want, and now that you know what you want, of course you have the desire to achieve that. Let's see though what other messages we can come up with here, Taurus. The first card we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is having many options, many choices. If you take a look at the Seven of Cups here, there's something different in each of these cups. And it can be hard to commit to exactly what we want. My message here for you, and I think for the most part, many of you have really honed in on what you want, Taurus, but some of you still have a little bit of work to do there. In order to get what we want, we need to be clear on what we want. So just keep that in mind. If you have all these different options and all these different things floating out there, it makes us non-committal. And when we can't commit to what we want, we can't attract what we want. So that would be my advice for those of you feeling like you want something you don't have. Be very clear on exactly what you want. The next card that we have is the Knight of Cups. I love to see this. This is wishes coming true. This is material abundance. We love to see that material abundance, especially in the money column. But this is especially important with the Nine of Cups. You have to know what you want, Taurus. So again, really dial in on that exact thing that you desire and focus on it. And then you have the card of Nine of Cups, which is then going to help deliver that for you. Bottom here we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork, collaboration. You may need to talk this out with somebody. You may need to write down the pros and cons of this. Again, you need to focus in on exactly what you want. You need to gain this clarity of exactly what you want. And you may need to go about it kind of an interesting way of just talking it through. Okay, Taurus, now we're going to take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationship, children, whatever you associate with love. The first card that we have is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a very intentional card. It's very strategic. It's very long-term. For those of you entering into a new relationship, this seems like a very healthy long-term relationship. For those of you in a committed relationship, this is looking good as well. I will say there's some energy that's coming up. We're going to talk about it with the Three of Swords. But with the King of Swords, this is the card of getting professional help too. So, and this will be a controversial thing I say, I'm sure. But even in a happy, healthy relationship, therapy is good. It can guide you through things. Couples counseling, call it whatever you want. It can even be a vacation with your spouse or partner. Keep that in mind. But anyways, the King of Swords is seeking professional help. So if at any point in time you feel the need for help for something, don't hesitate to seek professional help with this King of Swords. I always like to use the example, if your car is breaking down or your car is having issues, take it to the mechanic. seeking that professional help there. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, loss, depression. Again, I don't see any relationships ending, but something's coming up that you may need professional support on this month, Taurus. So again, I'm not sure exactly what that translates into your world, but keep that in mind. Maybe there's a family member going through a divorce and we look for support that way, professional support on that. Maybe there's family planning matters, something along those lines. But again, there's something that's coming up that you would seek professional help with potentially. And then at the bottom here, we have the Nine of Cups. We were just talking about the Nine of Cups here. This is wishes coming true. This is a card of good health. So if you or anybody in your family has been having health issues, like to see that good health card for you. But whatever you want in terms of relationships, you can definitely accomplish with this Nine of Cups. This is similar to what we were talking about with money. Be clear on what you want so that those items can come to you. But let's see what messages we get here. The first clarifier we have is the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card of working hard and enjoying it at the same time. And this is kind of the driving reason behind this long-term, happy, healthy relationship. Of course, relationships are hard work, but we do have this wonderful drive, this commitment to hard working to make it work. I am getting the feeling though too, again going back to the professional thing, some things could be too hard of work to figure out on your own, and hence the need for the professional help. The next card that we have is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a card of worry. Again, something is going to pop up that you're going to need support on. It's going to cause angst. It's going to cause worry. The best piece of advice I can give you is to seek that professional help as needed. And then at the bottom here, we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of friendship, circle of support. This is also a card of celebration. You could be like celebrating somebody getting healthy. I know that sounds kind of strange, but that's what I'm getting here. Maybe somebody has a final cancer treatment that we're celebrating. But in general, there's a good circle of support, both in terms of family and friends, and we do cover family and friends in the love column. So I like to see that kind of all-inclusive support there for you, Taurus. Now we're going to take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Surface, and this card has a couple different meanings, but my, I guess, advice for this card specifically in this reading is to not take things at face value. Like, don't judge somebody just by their appearance. Get to know them first. Or again, like, learn more about the situation. Don't just judge it based on the surface. And that could be person or scenario, I should clarify. But let's see what messages we've got going on here. The first card that we have is the Fool. The Fool is the first card in the Major Arcana. Love to see it really anywhere in the readings. It's fresh hope, it's taking chances, it's going on new paths, adventures, new beginnings. Always love to see new beginnings. The one piece of advice that I will give based on that surface card is make sure you get the details. Make sure you get a good understanding of this new beginning before we jump in with both feet. The next card that we have is the Two of Cups. This is a very romantic card. It's a card of partnership, proposal, marriage. Some of you could be entering into a new relationship or advancing in your relationship, so that's very exciting. Make sure, especially if you're going into a new relationship, is to not be judging this person on that superficial level. And then at the bottom here, we have the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, courage. This is about having the courage to dig a little deeper, Taurus. Again, don't just take things at surface level. Pursue them a little bit further, whether it's new opportunity or new relationship. Just keep that in mind to keep digging. Definitely have the courage to go forward, but it's about getting more understanding before we move forward. Oh, I guess you can have both of those. The first clarifier we have is the Tower card. The Tower card is unwanted change. It can be disgrace, upheaval, violence. In this case, like I said, with this new beginning, there's something that you don't quite see just at the surface level. So make sure we get all of the context, all the information before we pursue any new opportunities going into September. The next card that we have is the Two of Wands. This is a card of waiting for results. We do have two cards with two things on it, so this could be a decision as well anytime we have two of something on a card. So double decision cards here, having to make a choice. I do think you'll have to make the choice to go for this new opportunity, to pursue this new relationship, whatever it may be, but a decision coming through pretty strongly there. And at the bottom here, we had two cards come out. We had the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. The King of Pentacles is being very solid, practical, and wise. In order to be solid, practical, and wise, we need all of the information. So make sure you have the information you need, Taurus. And then the Eight of Swords is, again, that card of self-imposed restrictions. Feel like you don't have the information, but you have the ability to gain the information. So don't hold yourself back or make a blind decision. We're blindfolded here. Don't make this blind decision without the additional context. Okay, Taurus, now I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them. But question number 1 is the 3 of Hearts. This is the number 1 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the 10 of Clubs. This is number 35 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the 7 of Clubs. This is number 20 card. That's going to be a yes. So yes, no, yes for you, Taurus. We're going to take a look and pull a card from our Healing Stone stack, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of September. Your crystal this month is black tourmaline. This is good for protection, relaxation, and it really relaxes body, mind, and spirit. And last but not least, we're going to pull a healing note from our Healing Notes deck. Taurus, your note says, walk gently, breathe peacefully, and laugh joyfully. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, so if you haven't subscribed, please do. Also included my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Taurus, and I hope you have a wonderful September.